Welcome to The View from the East, a new unofficial Leyton Orient podcast. This is episode 11, Flip-Flops on the Beach. My name's Rob Bennett, and once again, I'm joined by my slightly older brother, Eddie B. Eddie, how are we doing?
Hi all. Yeah, I'm very well, Rob. I'm in the middle of my holiday at the moment, Rob. Bit of a long story. I booked this up after about 3 games of the new season, and I knew it was going to go over the playoff final, and I thought there's no chance we're going to get in the playoff final. I got a bit scared when we had our, was it a 4-game winning run? Because there was a possibility of a chance, but no. So I'm on my way home in a couple of days' time, but I'm enjoying it. So we're international this week, Rob.
It's been 2 weeks since we recorded our episode, didn't we? A couple of Saturdays ago. To confirm, we're recording this internationally on Saturday. It's around about 1 o'clock UK time. And in that 2 weeks, there's been a crazy world of football, even since you've been away. So let's have a look at some of the things that have gone on. VAR decisions in England and Scotland affecting big games. Celtic winning the title, even without the game not finishing. Arsenal champions for the first time in 22 years. Pep's decided to walk away from Man City. Highgate and Southampton kicked out of the playoffs. And if you thought football couldn't get even crazier, Tuchel's gone and picked Jordan Henderson in the England World Cup squad. What's going on?
Unbelievable. I've only been away a week. All this news gone on while I've been away. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about there, and we sort of said we'll probably talk about a lot of that on our next episode, won't we? Because there's probably too much to cram into this week's one.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before, hoping to do some World Cup episodes, so we're going to record one on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I'm on I'm a teacher, so I'm on half term, so that's helpful for me. I've got a bit more time. Ed, you're flying back from your holidays very soon, aren't you? So we'll have time to digest and then see if the squad changes between now and when we record. There's bound to be injuries over the weekend, and Harry Maguire's mum might get in Tuchel's ear and manage to get her son back in the squad. But we've got some Orient things we can catch up on. Some of it obviously might have happened over a week ago, but it's worth talking about. So this week we're going to quickly talk about Aaron Connolly and media posts. The 3 youngsters who have signed their first professional contracts with the club. The 2025-26 fan survey that was released on the app and on the website on the 1st of May. And I'll mention a little bit about O's cash and when you need to spend it by at the end of the podcast. So Ed, let's start. Aaron Connolly, just over a week ago now, put an intriguing message on Instagram, the like, and I'll read it out for you. Not how we wanted the season to look, but done the job we had to do. Been a pleasure playing in front of you fans, week in, week out. Ready for what's next, ... First thoughts on that when you saw it?
I just thought that was his way of saying thank you for supporting me this season. It wasn't the season he was probably envisaged. We didn't envisage this season, did we? And I know there's a lot of people jumping on the back of that to say that that's his fond farewell. I'm a bit unsure. If you look over the last 5 or 6 years, how many games he's played, he's probably only averaging anywhere between sort of 10 to 20 games a season. Signed a 2-year deal. So unless anyone's offering, he may not even be fully fit by the beginning of the season with his shoulder injury. So let's say $500,000. Is someone going to pay $500,000 on someone who's only plays 10, 15 games a season? We know he's a fantastic player when fully fit. I think it might have just been his way of saying thanks very much. Perhaps he knows some of the players potentially we're going to be signing in the summer.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? I mean, you're right. When I saw the media post that he'd done, I tweeted back straight away what I thought at the time. I thought he was the best player in the league up until his injury before Christmas. He was in the top 3 goal scorers, assisting, creating chaos in terms of he's that good that he pulls other players towards him. A real live wire. And he's not scared, is he, of moaning, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes he'll moan at his teammates on the pitch. He moans at Wellens when he gets subbed off early sometimes.
Yeah, I think as I say, he's one of those players you'd rather him be on your team than be playing against him. It was just unfortunately we didn't see enough of that this season with his injuries.
Yeah, I suppose one thing as well is that he's obviously been around a few clubs, isn't he, in a short period of time. Who's he played for in the last 4 years? Hull, we done 28 games, Sunderland 10 games, Millwall 14 starts, us 21 starts, scoring more goals for us, 8 goals in a shorter period of time. But who would take him on? They said he's not done a whole season. His wages are probably comparatively high for the league, unless it's sort of a top-end League One side comes in for him as a impact player, I don't think you'd start him all games, would you? Or
No,
maybe a lower league championship side.
I was looking. I went down a rabbit hole the other day, and it was one of those websites where it tells you the best paid players at each club, and he was our top. Let's say $7,000 for argument's sake. So he's still got another year left of that. So who would be willing to pay that on someone you potentially you're only going to get half a season from? Unless it's someone really going for it next year in League One. Could be a Bolton, Bradford, depending whether Bolton go through, or any of the teams coming down. They're Sheffield Wednesday, but you'd think they'd be wanting to buy players you're going to get a full season out of. It's a hit and miss.
So I suppose at the moment we'd probably be confident he's going to start pre-season with us. So we've got a pre-season camp in Spain as well again, haven't we? Coming up in July. Would you be confident that he's still with us by the end of that first transfer window in September?
I would imagine so. We presume that Ballard's going to go if someone gives us enough money. And then with that, you can then start building the squad that Richie wants for next season. Also, there's potential we could get some more money from Galbraith if he moves on, if rumours are true that he's turned down a new contract, so he'd probably be looking for a move as well. So there may be some influx of extra cash coming our way. So, and he could be pivotal of that. He could be like the main player. He may even be looking for more money, Rob. You don't know, do you? That's the other thing.
No.
He may be looking for a contract extension.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him stay. I think he's got something about him, and he's got a bit of spirit, bit of arrogance as well, which I don't think is bad for sort of one of your main players leading the line.
He's probably got that attitude that you want the captain to have. I think that pull players up by the scruff of the neck and sort of say, if you're playing badly, he goes over and tells them they're playing badly, doesn't he? So I think if you do need those types of players in this league.
Yeah, he's got that sort of Roy Keane Irish spark about him, and he's not scared to speak his mind on the pitch. We even saw that at the end of when he come on for his last two home games. He was sort of moaning. I haven't got a problem with him moaning. I think he was probably limited, wasn't he, by his fitness then. Sometimes at the end of the season he couldn't maybe pull off the tricks he maybe could have before Christmas because he wasn't fully fit. So he's probably frustrated with himself as well. But I know this season I had him as top goal scorer each way. Up until Christmas, I was cashing in on that. He was paying for my holiday. But I hope he stays. As you said, I think if someone come in for him based on his maybe injury profile and games played profile over the last 7 years, you'd probably only go get $500,000. Or if he's scoring crazy goals, it might go up more than that.
Yeah, and unless he starts the season off and he is fit and he knocks say 5 in before the end of the transfer window, there might be a championship club that may come in for him, possibly.
Hopefully it doesn't happen. The player's bigger than one club, is it? So
exactly.
If someone does come in and they like the offer, then they'll take it.
Put it this way: had you ever heard of him before we signed him last season?
No, and I couldn't even. Well, maybe I had, but then he's been forgotten because obviously he's had quite a few clubs. I'm not going to say something like more clubs than Sebi Ballesteros, but
players come and go.
Yeah, definitely. Right, Ed. Talking to players coming. Let's look at 3 youth players who have signed their first pro contracts. So Zach Hambury, who's a striker, Alfie Wellens, son of the boss, who's like a attacking midfield player. And I hate all these expressions. A number 6. What does that mean? Number 6. What is he?
Low block. Is it low block?
Yeah, a low block midfield player, whatever that rubbish is. He's either attacking or he's like a midfield player. And Zach O'Keefe, who's a midfield player who can also play in central defence and can also cover the flanks as well. Interesting, when they've done their videos, all had like a little 2-minute video, keep the media team busy. So what are your ambitions as all the players? So both Zach Hambury and Zach O'Keefe, I want to be pushing for the first team. I want to be sort of on the bench, and the other. Alfie Wellens, or I'm looking for a good loan. What does that tell you? Does it tell you Alfie's been around football more family-wise than the other boys and he's more realistic? Or the other boys really are ambitious and they think they can push on to the first team?
Yeah, that's what Richie's always said, doesn't he? He said our players need to go on loan. That toughens them up. So perhaps he's more of a realist. I'm not going to get in the first team this year, but if I could get a loan to say League 2, or even one level below, that will toughen him up, and he'll be ready, say, in a year's time. Perhaps that's when the boy turns into a man, so to speak, in the football game.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Hambury I've seen a bit of in Papa John's and some of the under-21 games that they've shown. He looks right live wire. He could be like a Soterio, couldn't he, coming through the academy and could actually score goals, which if you're a youngster and you score goals first team, then all of a sudden you put in numbers at the end of your name in terms of value, which is good for any club at our level. From what I've been told about Alfie Wellens when I've gone to a few club meetings and stuff, he's maybe more technically gifted than his older brother. So more for, I suppose, like a playing midfield player in terms of creative. But as you said, it's all about sort of, I suppose, how they develop themselves over the season. Maybe a good loan for all three of them. Maybe taking their chance in the under-21s and the Papa Johns, maybe even the League Cup, depending on how Richie wants to play it this season. And I guess depending on how we field the squad, because we go over a lot of gaps in it as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if out of the three, probably is it Hambury will probably be the probably the favourite of the three that could possibly potentially push for a place in the first team. I mean, the first time I saw the interview, Rob, and I'll be honest, I just saw cash signs. I thought if he gets in the first team, we need to sell those Hambury wigs straight away.
Yeah. Stay in the fan zone.
£10 a pop, it's quids, it's money in, isn't it? That was the first thing I thought since I saw it. It's fantastic hair, isn't it?
So is that once again another email to the club from me? I've just written down merch wigs.
Dear Mark Devlin, another idea. I reckon he sees your name in his inbox, he just goes delete. He may even do straight junk mail. You may not even enter his inbox.
Yeah, there is a chance of that. Actually, I sent an email 2 days ago, and I've still not had a reply. I got the usual, during this time of season, things are very busy. Well, they're not that busy, mate. Everyone's away. But yeah, I've still not had a reply, and I'm trying to give them money. Never mind late annoying. Let's wish all three of them well. Hopefully we get to see them. It'd be nice to see a couple of youngsters on the bench. If there's one thing that gets the crowd up, isn't it? It's when a youth player from the academy comes through, gets a chance, and sort of, we've seen it does work. Soterio took his chance, didn't he, a few years ago after being loaned out, scoring goals, coming into the first team and scoring again. And if you look through sort of the history books, we do develop players in all positions. So
I think the only thing you have to be a bit realistic with youth players coming through to the first team is they're not the best paid players, are they? That's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. So they do get into the first team. They may sign another new contract and then realise, hang on a minute, I've been here for 10 years. All the rest of the team are on another 2 or 3 grand more than me. And that's definitely when you get to the crux there, and then they move on for double the amount of money. Right. But yeah, good luck to all three of them.
Yeah. Next, on the 21st, so a couple of days ago now, the 2025-26 fan survey come out on the website and on the app. So the club basically seeking our views on what we thought of the season, stuff like quality of kit, fan experience. For us personally, it's in the east side, isn't it? What we thought of facilities and stuff like that. Have you filled out the survey?
Yeah, I filled it out while I was sunbathing yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Well, but it said 15 minutes. I thought, I've got an hour to kill here. So did we not fill one of these out a month or so ago? Or
I feel like
is it just me?
It feels like maybe it's the 4th or 5th survey. Maybe I'm just exaggerating that.
Yeah, there were a lot of similar questions
one as well, haven't we?
Possibly, yeah. I was getting confused with that. So a lot of similar questions that we always get asked. Where do you sit? How old you are? What religion are you?
Yeah, what's that got to do with football? I don't understand that. It's for us. The one thing I always highlight in the East Stand is facilities. Yeah, you can have the best facilities in the world, but you've mentioned this to me in the past, Ed. If we have to leave 5 minutes before the end of the first half to have a wee, because otherwise the queues get too much, or you want to have a beer, but you want to be at the front of the queue. If we do that for every game, we're probably missing about 2 games worth over a season.
Yeah, well, then as I said, I can't see the game while I'm queuing up. Also, if we do score, I've no idea whether we score because I can't hear the tannoy under the East Stand.
Yeah, and you can't get Wi-Fi either. So
I know they're first world problems, but you're paying good money to go there. I think the least you should expect is be able to hear any announcements that are going on while you're under the stand.
Yeah, I know these fan surveys probably good for. We wouldn't have had it in the past, or even sort of 5 years ago, they wouldn't have been as frequent as they are. They are worth filling out. I think it took me about 10, 15 minutes during my lunch break. So, and there's the opportunity to basically raise anything that you want to put to the club.
I think they're very heavy on the fan zone this year. So I think if the weather entails, probably up to about October time, I wouldn't be surprised if they appear before each home game. As I said, we went to one, didn't we, on the last game of the season? We thought was really well organised. It was asking some opinions, what else you would like to see there. I put a couple of things down. I think we mentioned it on the last one, perhaps some a stall selling old merch, even if it's people selling old kits, like just reselling them on, opposed to going on eBay. You can bring them down and sell them, or people who are just selling Leyton Orient merch but are not affiliated with the club, but the club can get some money. I think it may be a way of just encouraging some different stall holders down there, so that we can change them around every other week.
Yeah, and I think if they do so when we went there, they had a sort of local independent brewer, wasn't it, doing the beer and stuff like that. If they could rotate that, because there is loads of independent beer manufacturers in Leyton, Hackney, Walthamstow. Beer Mile obviously is a huge draw as well. So if they can get them involved, maybe rotate that. A lot of them work through the local pubs as well, so then you can include the William IV we've been to. I think that's Excel Brewery. The European, they're independent. Leyton Star, they're an independent pub. So if you can get them involved as well, sort of share the fun, because otherwise you only go sort of piss them off a bit, isn't you, if you're taking their cup, sort of spreading it around a bit.
It may be something silly, Rob, that let's say there was a certain pub there that was selling IPAs, lagers, beer, just advertising their own brand. If they were affiliated with a pub after the game, if you can show a ticket that you've been there, you might get, I don't know, 2 for 1 or something like that. Just to encourage people to sort of like move around the area and test different facilities out before and after the game. Just chuck it out there.
Definitely. It's worth mentioning on the back of the fan survey as well, they've been posting quite often about almost reaching their season ticket limit. I think the last update they've done, there's about 250 away from it. I think, is it a 5,000 cap they put on it, isn't it? Something like that.
I believe so.
I think I worked it out. That's about, even if you look to, I don't know, £400 a season ticket, so you're looking at 2 million. So it is a lot of money to the club. I did have a crazy thought. What they should do is, right, once you've hit your 5,000 limit, do a little lucky draw or whatever, and pick one person out and they get their season ticket for now. We've already put our money in, haven't we? So something like that.
That's a good idea. But, again, dear Mr. Devlin.
Yeah. Maybe you should start emailing him. I'm definitely blocked.
I might get Harry Maguire's mum to send him a message.
Oh, yeah, she got about 2 million likes on her bloody X post. So yeah, that's a very good idea, Ed. Yeah, we'll get old Mrs. Maguire. Worth noting as well. So this is for anyone who participates and gets O's cash. So you've got to spend your O's cash by the 1st of May. Now, Ed, you've mentioned that you would like a Josh Koroma scarf. I think you can get about 10 of those for about £10. So, they are trying to get rid of them. But other than that, I'm struggling. You just mentioned it to me before we went on air. Unless you want 5XL shorts.
75% off, Rob, at 25, 26 training gear and tops. I did have a look on the website. There's 5XL away shorts available. And I think there's size kids 11 socks, the green version, available as well. Apart from that, that's about it.
I mean, I'm just about to go into pre-season training ready for our new season of the pod. Next season, I'm trying to lose weight, not put on weight, so I can buy shorts at the club shop.
It's probably worth mentioning, Rob, as well. Sort of congratulations to all associated with the club on the Hackney Half Marathon as well.
Yeah.
There's about a dozen people connected with the club. Obviously Pratley, Tatters, I think, was there as well. We discussed this, Rob, didn't we? Are we still going to do it?
Do you want the update on that?
Yeah.
I've got an update. So this is historical for us, isn't it? Our dad was a marathon runner. He was, wasn't he? That was his thing. He could run all day long given the chance. So he, back in the early 80s, would have been one of the first to compete in what was the East London Half Marathon. Started in Victoria Park, ended there, early 80s, Ed, wasn't it? I remember it fondly. So I thought, yeah, we'll go in for that. Sort of, strike while the iron's hot, put my name forward for it.
Lovely.
Which I did. I sent over The application date, I think, was Wednesday or Thursday. You have to put your applications in. They sold out, Ed, within 10 hours. So they've sold, I think it's 27,000 applications, so roughly about £70 a pop. So we've got no chance of that. But there's an alternative. There's something called the Victoria Park Half Marathon, which is a similar time of year, but basically you just run around the park 13 times.
So it's sort of like it's the Hackney Marathon. It's not even the real Hackney. It's like the
Hackney Park Marathon? I don't know.
Kiddies Half Marathon. Well, we could do that this year and do the one the year after.
Yeah, so we just have to be more on the ball and sort of make sure we're ready for it next year. But, I am serious. I'm doing pre-season this season purely because if Richie hasn't bought a right back by September or it needs cover, then I can cover right back. And I'm still as quick, as I've said before, as Tom James. And I can probably deliver a better cross as well.
Well, and as you mentioned as well, Rob, by the age of 10, I had the blue, red, black, silver, and gold Coca-Cola Skill Awards. Youngest person. Does that make me
I'll talk about that a bit more during the week, but technically you are a FIFA Pro license holder. But we just need to refine that so that the listeners are aware of just how qualified you are to talk about football and potentially be the next manager of Leyton Orient if things do go badly. But you've got the awards. You've got the awards for it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just not necessarily the ones they give out now. That's all. Right, let's wrap up. A couple of quick bits for you to update. We are available on Apple, Spotify, all podcast affiliates, but also now we can be found on YouTube. Now, we haven't gone mad. You're not going to see us. You're not going to see video content as yet. It's only audio, but we are now available on YouTube. So it will be, if you just type in View from the East, Leyton Orient, we will come up. I'll put a link into it on either the forums or on X when we put this post out for this episode so that you're aware. So that's all done. And again, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to our first of our England World Cup shows, hopefully Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have a look at the squad as it is then. We might have Harry Maguire's mum on if we can get her on to the pod.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, if not, it'll just be Harry's mum from down the road. She likes to talk about football.
I've got my fake England World Cup kit as well. I purchased on holiday, so I'm ready for it.
Perfect. That's all to come. But yeah, that's all we've got. If any news does come out, obviously during the week, we'll do an Orient update as well, each week as well for the podcast and mix it in probably a bit on Wednesday or Thursday. But if anything crazy was to happen, as I know Richie is second favourite for the Huddersfield job at the moment, so to speak, then if anything come about with that, then obviously we'll do a quick podcast to talk about it. But thank you for listening as ever. And up the O's.
Come on, you O's.